Hey, welcome in everyone to Dom Time with Dom Giordano. In studio with me is Dan Gross, principal at Gross Communications, former Daily News columnist, breaking down the results and the impact, if any, of the Kermit Gosnell trial, which this afternoon the jury, after 10 weeks of exhaustion, found Dr. Gosnell guilty of 3 cases of homicide and 1 of manslaughter and a slew of other charges around this. And Dan, the repercussion I have, and you have, I think, a bigger long-term takeaway is Allison Schwartz, former congressman or current congresswoman, running for governor, obviously against Corbett. This is going to be a battle of the women because of Corbett's comments around ultrasound and just shut your eyes with abortion.
Right.
And Allison Schwartz ran the Blackwell Clinic, has still not said whether she ever referred people to Kermit Gosnell, because her clinic at some point was out of the abortion industry and just into family planning, I guess. And Gosnell, a lot of these people said, yeah, go see Gosnell if you were longer in term here. And this has consequence, I think, about who knew what about Gosnell and didn't out him, didn't do anything. So far, she hasn't made a comment on it.
Yeah, if she hasn't spoken about it yet, it might mean that she doesn't think it's going to come out or that there's nothing to come out. But I think, you know, what you're saying is right. And as the sentencing phase and as any potential appeals go forward, there's certainly room for any information about anyone who might have referred business to him to come out.
Particularly when this is going to be a battle over issues like this. Corbett, insensitive to women.
Right.
Allison Schwartz, on the other hand, actually ran one of these places. And I see this shaping up as quite a duality. I think both of them have tremendous baggage in this.
Well, I think I'm sure the opposition research people on both sides are already hard at work.
It is field day. I can say honestly that Corbett's lighting candles right now that it is Allison Schwartz versus a couple of the others, and that was before this issue. But you think there might be a bigger takeaway around this issue and the consistency of people that oppose guys like Gosnell and late-term abortion and some preventative.
I do. I think, you know, the more that I looked at this case and the more, you know, when you think of abortion in general, what I think is unfortunate, if you take out your personal politics about I don't think abortion is right or wrong, if you put that aside and you merely look at it as a financial perspective, because a lot of people say I don't want my tax money going to Planned Parenthood, I don't want my tax money going to abortions, what have you. The same people that say that are, in my opinion, very frequently the same people who would oppose birth control in schools, condoms in schools, sex education programs. And I think it's important to remember the more education people have about how to avoid pregnancy and and contraception, and the more effective tools they have in that manner, would probably limit the number of abortions.
All right, and I would ask, do you think the Philadelphia Public Schools, it's my feeling, are doing a tremendous amount of this already? And I don't oppose it, but I don't see it being in schools and all that as a silver bullet with this, maybe in quite this. I know what you're saying is logical, but I think a lot of these people had a lot of that. Some of them are relatively younger, some of these are relatively recent, and I think there is just not people responsible. You can't put responsibility into this.
Well, I think some of it is a cultural thing, and you're right, while there could be sex education in schools, there's also, you know, parenting plays a role in it and how you're brought up. There's people in Philadelphia who believe, you know, there's teenagers who will tell a girl, I can't get you pregnant because I drink Mountain Dew and it kills my sperm. I mean, I've heard that before, and people believe that okay, fine, we don't need a condom. I thought it was the M&Ms.
I mean, that's another show.
Whatever it might be, but I mean, you got people believing all kinds of different things, and I do think you're right. There is a lot of it done in Philadelphia, and I think that's fortunate of the school district to do. But the problem doesn't go away. But it is important. You know, the more, I don't think you can ever have enough education and enough availability of condoms or education about it would be helpful. But again, you know, limiting the, you know, whether you got to take away your emotions from whether you believe in or don't believe in abortion, because we need to remember this case and what Dr. Gosnell was doing was butchering and slaughtering babies that were born. This was not what's typically considered an abortion. You know, late-term abortions, the percentage of late-term abortions or what's considered late-term versus all abortions in general, I think is relatively minor.
All right, well, Dan, thank you, Dan. We're flat out of time, but thanks for joining us in the studio again. We'll see you again soon.
Terrific.
Coming up on Dom Time, My 1 Minute, talk about amazing story, the IRS coming after various groups. If you're called a patriot, a Tea Party, or you say we the people, that's shocking for everyone. That's straight ahead with Dom. Hey everyone, welcome to the end of Dom Time for this night. Over the weekend, we found out more about this story where the IRS commissioner in charge of these nonprofits said that she was apologizing because during the 2012 election cycle, groups that had Tea Party, Patriot, We the People, study of the Constitution, God knows what. Conservative groups that were in opposition most likely to the president got a tremendous level of scrutiny determining whether they would get 501c3 status, nonprofit status. And this would then aid and abet them in their organization having an impact on the election. This smacks of the 40th anniversary this summer of Watergate and Richard Nixon. Democrats and Republicans are condemning it. We will talk more about it on Dom Time on a future show. Come back tomorrow with me at 7 p.m. here on Dom Time.